The Pacific Northwest sky was dark and stormy on the evening of November 24, 1971, when a man in a business suit boarded Northwest Orient Airlines Flight 305 in Portland. Using the alias Dan Cooper, later mistakenly reported as D.B. Cooper, he would soon orchestrate one of the most daring and mysterious crimes in American history. After handing a flight attendant a note claiming he had a bomb in his briefcase, he demanded $200,000 in cash and 4 parachutes. When the plane landed in Seattle, his demands were met, and after releasing the passengers, he ordered the plane back into the air. Somewhere over southwestern Washington, in the pitch darkness and pouring rain, the hijacker did the unthinkable. He lowered the rear stairs of the Boeing 727 and jumped into the night, never to be seen again. For over half a century, this audacious crime has captivated the American imagination and stumped the FBI. Despite thousands of tips, hundreds of suspects, and the occasional discovery of weathered bills from the ransom money along the Columbia River, the true identity of D.B. Cooper has remained elusive until now, perhaps. This is it. This is the rig, says Dan Greider, a retired pilot whose 2-decade obsession with solving the Cooper case may have finally paid off. Holding up a military-style parachute with distinctive modifications, Greider's eyes light up with the conviction of someone who believes he's uncovered a crucial piece of America's greatest aviation mystery. For 20 years, Greider had been searching for a specific piece of evidence: a green military parachute with unique modifications that matched the equipment used in the legendary hijacking. His pursuit led him down countless dead ends until a breakthrough came from an unexpected source: the family property of Richard McCoy, Jr., a Vietnam veteran who had long been on investigators' suspect lists. "I've been looking for this green military highly modified parachute for 20 years, Greider explains. When we stumbled upon it by accident, I pulled it out and could instantly see the modifications. I knew what I was looking for." What makes this discovery particularly compelling is where it was found. Tucked away among the prized possessions of McCoy's mother, preserved for over 5 decades alongside other aviation memorabilia that had no apparent connection to her own life. She was a grandmother not related to aviation or skydiving, Greider points out. And yet she had the parachute, the canopy, his logbook, all of it tucked away in her private possessions, untouched for 53 years. Richard Floyd McCoy, Jr. has long been a peripheral figure in the D.B. Cooper saga. A Vietnam veteran, helicopter pilot, and skilled parachutist, McCoy was killed in a shootout with FBI agents in 1974 after escaping from prison, where he was serving time for an eerily similar crime: hijacking a United Airlines flight in April 1972, just 5 months after the Cooper incident. During that hijacking, McCoy demanded $500,000 and parachuted to freedom, cementing his reputation as a daring and resourceful criminal. Despite the parallels, investigators had never found concrete evidence linking McCoy to the original hijacking. Until now, according to Greider. The parachute discovery is just one piece of compelling evidence. Among McCoy's mother's possessions was also a parachute jump logbook that tells a fascinating story of preparation. The logbook showed 39 previous military static line jumps accomplished by McCoy in the military, Greider explains. But what's really interesting is that it showed 8 practice jumps leading up to the D.B. Cooper jump, and then nothing. This was his first freefall parachute jump. Even more tellingly, the logbook picks up again just before the April 1972 hijacking that McCoy was convicted of committing. He went back and did one more practice jump prior to his April 72 parachute jump, and he logged that one. Perhaps the most intriguing aspect of Greider's investigation involves McCoy's children, who apparently lived their entire lives guarding a dangerous family secret. They grew up with this deep family secret, Greider says. They lived a lifetime of knowing that they could not talk about this. That was their family mantra. They could not talk about what their mom and dad did. According to Grider, McCoy's children refused to speak with him for nearly 20 years, despite his persistent attempts to contact them. Their silence broke only after both their mother, Karen McCoy, and their grandmother had passed away. Their mother, Karen McCoy, was an accomplice in both hijackings, Grider claims. The kids would never talk to me until they were both dead, and then they felt relieved that their mother was no longer in danger of going to prison as an accomplice in the D.B. Cooper heist. This familial dimension adds layers of human complexity to what has typically been viewed through the lens of a cold case file. If true, it suggests that the Cooper mystery persisted not just due to criminal cunning, but because of bonds of family loyalty that endured for decades. Grider's discoveries, detailed in 2 YouTube videos, caught the attention of the FBI, an agency that had officially suspended active investigation into the case in 2016. We've never contacted any media, any authority, and we have never contacted any FBI in any way, Grider emphasizes. The FBI contacted us after watching my YouTube videos. According to Grider, FBI agents were specific about what they were looking for and agreed to meet him on his terms. They told us up front, "We're going to look at it. We'll meet with you at your location under your specifications. If it's not what we're looking for, we'll give it back in 7 days because we know exactly what we're looking for." That was a year ago. The evidence remains in FBI custody at their Quantico laboratory. When pressed for comment, the FBI neither confirmed nor denied an active investigation, instead pointing to their 2016 statement. Although the FBI will no longer actively investigate this case, should specific physical evidence emerge related specifically to the parachutes or the money taken by the hijacker, individuals with those materials are asked to contact their local FBI field office. For all the circumstantial evidence, the modified parachute, the logbook with its telling timeline of practice jumps, the family's decades of silence, Grider understands that definitive proof will likely come down to science. The FBI cannot build a case on circumstantial evidence alone, he notes. They're going to go by a DNA link. According to Grider, the FBI has requested DNA samples from McCoy's children and is attempting to establish a conclusive connection between the recovered items and the elusive hijacker. They're trying their hardest to make a solid DNA link, he says. That's the only way they can close it, with a solid DNA lock. If proven true, Grider's discoveries would resolve one of America's most enduring mysteries and reveal an extraordinary tale of criminal daring, familial complicity, and a secret maintained for over half a century. The D.B. Cooper hijacking stands as the only unsolved air piracy case in American history. It spawned countless theories, inspired books and movies, and created an unlikely folk hero, a mysterious figure who committed a brazen crime and seemingly vanished into thin air. The case also transformed aviation security, leading to significant changes in aircraft design, including the Cooper vane, a device that prevents the rear air stairs of a Boeing 727 from being lowered during flight. For Grider, whose obsession with the case has consumed 2 decades of his life, the discovery represents a personal vindication. For the FBI, it offers the tantalizing possibility of finally closing a case that has remained stubbornly open since 1971. And for America, it may provide the final chapter in a mystery that has become woven into the fabric of modern folklore, the tale of a man who committed the perfect crime, only to be unmasked 50 years later by a determined investigator and a parachute preserved among a grandmother's treasured possessions. As the FBI conducts its DNA analysis, the nation waits to learn if D.B. Cooper's true identity has finally been revealed, or if, like the man himself on that stormy November night, the full truth will continue to elude our grasp. The D.B. Cooper case has transcended its status as a criminal investigation to become a cultural phenomenon. It has inspired countless books, documentaries, and even Hollywood films, cementing Cooper's place in the pantheon of American folklore. The idea of a man outsmarting the system and disappearing without a trace has captured the public's imagination, turning Cooper into a symbol of rebellion and mystery. Moreover, the case had a profound impact on aviation security. In the aftermath of the hijacking, airports implemented stricter screening procedures, and aircraft designs were modified to prevent similar incidents. The Cooper vane, a mechanical device installed on Boeing 727s to prevent the rear stairs from being lowered mid-flight, stands as a lasting legacy of the hijacking. The story of D.B. Cooper is more than just a cold case. It's a reflection of America's fascination with mystery, ingenuity, and the enduring allure of the unknown. Dan Greider's discoveries offer a tantalizing glimpse into the possibility of solving this decades-old puzzle, but they also remind us of the human stories behind the headlines. Whether or not the DNA analysis confirms Richard McCoy Jr. as the infamous hijacker, the legend of D.B. Cooper will continue to captivate generations to come. As we await the FBI's findings, one thing is certain. The final jump of D.B. Cooper remains one of the most extraordinary tales in American history, a story that continues to defy explanation and inspire wonder.